2015 is just around the corner. And if you're a big OU guy like I am, you love your Sooners, you're asking yourself, what is Cody Thomas, or Baker Mayfield, probably those guys above Trevor Knight, if you believe all the media hype, what do they have to go through next year to get to possibly be one of those top 2 teams? Well, I'll get into it. Plus, how I feel about what's going to happen championship weekend. Which, by the way, if you're an OU fan, nothing. We're not playing on championship weekend. What? I'll explain why I feel that way. Coming up next. Plus, we'll preview what's going to be happening next year in 2015. This is the 2015 football schedule breakdown. Stay tuned. Alrighty then, everybody. Let's get to breaking this thing down. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 non-bowl adequate teams that will be coming into Norman, but only one of them, but 2 of them out of conference. But by the way, the 2 teams out of conference, Tulsa might be a little better than expected, and Arkin will not. They've got to qualify for the championship game if they want to get 6. They won't qualify for that. So this is coming into championship weekend. What I think is going to happen, or what their final record will be. So the first game will be 9-5. That'll be the opener next year. First weekend in college football, and we'll play Arkin. Arkin went 5-7 last year, this season, 3-5 in league play, which is in the Eastern Division of the MAC. 9-12, September 12th, we'll go to SEC. Be plenty of SEC flavor in this one, as we'll go to Neyland Stadium at Tennessee. I'll be there, so you know that there will be at least one or a handful of Sooner fans there. I'll be one of them there. They went 6-6 this year, 3-5 in league play. The Western Division of the SEC, and then on the 19th of September 19th, they'll have a home game against Tulsa. They went 2-8, 2-10 this year, 2-6 in league play in the American Conference. And the next week, 9/26, the 26th of October, September, 26th of September, Oklahoma's off. And they don't have another off week. Boom. Not until anything. Basically, if you wanted to play until, you could say until championship week on 12/5. But, you really call that a bye when you don't have a game the next week? I don't. So, after the 26th of October, they'll have a bye. Then they'll be home for a game date with West Virginia. West Virginia went 7-5, 5-4 in Big 12 play this year. 10-10, October the 10th. That will be the big bad game with Texas. 6-6, 5-4 in Big 12 play in the Big 12 before going on the road to 9-win Kansas State on the road. 9-3 Kansas State or 10-2 Kansas State will be at and in league play they are either 8-1 or 7-2 in Big 12 play. Of course, they'll still have to play Baylor, so you still have to figure what's going on there. Before they'll be back the 24th of October. They'll be back for Texas Tech, 4-8, 2-7 in league play in the Big 12. It's done. Baylor was their final regular season game, so they're done. No bowl for them. Iowa State, actually at Kansas, 10-31 at Kansas, 3-9, 1-8 in league play this year so far. Then they'll play Iowa State. They are set to go 2-9, 0-8 in Big 12 play. Baylor, they'll be in Waco on 11/24. They'll play at Baylor, 11-1, 8-1 in Big 12 play, or 10-2, 7-2 in Big 12 play, depending on what happens in Manhattan. In Waco against Kansas State. TCU, 11-1, 8-1 in Big 12 play in Norman on 11/21. Final home game, senior night, going to be pretty fun there. And then 11/28 at Oklahoma State, 5-7, 3-6 in Big 12 play. And then, as I said, 12/05, December the 12th, championship weekend is what they're called, that championship weekend. Oklahoma will have a bye. They'll be off. I'll tell you this. It's going on a little longer than I expected it to go on for the football preview, but who really cares? I have to get this off my chest. I'm not saying that Oklahoma is going to be one of the Final Four teams next year. I want them to be. I would love for them to be. If they go through West Virginia to Oklahoma State undefeated, they should have a pretty clear shot at the national championship if they play right. But look at those last three games. At Baylor, against TCU, a pretty good team, and at Oklahoma State, who's always looking for blood in this rivalry, in Stillwater. If any one of those games are played, and they get to either, I hope it's Trevor Knight. I think that he's still got some work to do, but I think that the future is ahead of him. Cody Thomas, of course, still runs the offense now, and we'll see about Baker. Justice Hanson's in there. Doesn't matter. All right? I've seen this happen way too many times, even this year. You saw it happen against in Ohio State in Michigan when the Ohio State quarterback was popped pretty good. They will play in the Big Ten championship game, but the guy broke his ankle, the original quarterback for Ohio State. So, how will the next quarterback play in the championship game? If it was old-fashioned Ohio State, like 10 or 12 years ago, there would be no contest. They probably wouldn't even get in because they don't have that championship game to find out what this guy now has. Think about in the Big 12 play. Bryce Petty popped pretty good. And a legal hit, by the way, in Arlington against Texas Tech. Okay? Popped pretty good. Now, they're supposed to be competing for a national championship. But now, how does this affect Baylor? Luckily, they have Kansas State next week. another 9-10 win team to find out what they were meant to be. But if Oklahoma next year doesn't have that extra game, if Baylor or TCU or at OSU, if they hammer the quarterback, pop them pretty good, as I say, who's going to be the quarterback? Do they deserve a chance in the finals? You don't know. I think that this thing needs to be rethought of really, really hard. Plus, the fact is that they go through, West Virginia, Texas, Kansas State, Texas Tech, at Kansas, Iowa State, at Baylor, TCU, and at OSU. That's 9, I believe, if I just counted right. 9 consecutive weeks of college football. No breaks. 9 straight. Now, as I said, if they do win 9 straight, they should be in contingency. But then I say, what happens if the quarterback's popped in that last... Okay, let's take everything out. Last game in Stillwater. Mike Gundy, if he's still there, one of his defensive players pops the quarterback pretty good. We don't have that extra game, guys. Next year, we don't play on championship weekend. If they ruin that quarterback, they ruin our year. Theoretically. Even if it is a 40-0 win in Stillwater, which probably won't happen. It's been a while since it's even happened that year, that far in Norman. But theoretically, what do you do there? Really? We need to reschedule this. Maybe get in contact with the guys at TCU and see if they would be willing to move the game up to 2 weeks. To where you'll play at Baylor, off week, at Oklahoma State, and then at home senior night against TCU. That's just my thoughts. I hope I'm wrong and that doesn't happen. I never want anyone to get hurt. But if it happens, just remember, I told you. It can cost us not playing on that last day. And plus the fact is, let's say that it doesn't happen. Let's say that we go through and there's more than, let's just say that you lose 1 or 2. Everybody, it's college football. You're going to lose a game or 2, all right? You lose a game or 2, say, they're playing OSU. OSU's usually pretty strong. Oklahoma State, that is. Good win for OU. Awesome win. But then, let's say, Ohio State, well, Big Ten's kind of soft on their side of the division. So let's say that Big Ten, Oregon, always ends up losing a game or so that they shouldn't lose. Let's say that they do that. But then they go into the championship game, which, by the way, is in Eugene. Don't even get me started on having a conference championship game on your own home turf. That's not fair. Anyways, they have a game against Eugene. In Eugene, all right? And they hammer UCLA, USC, one of those power teams. Really, really, really big. And they say, well, what did OU do? They were off. They beat OSU. They won the Big 12. But they didn't hammer them. You look at what USC did. 40-0. You look at what Oregon did. 40-20 against USC. You're going to tell me that doesn't get into the ears and into the eyes and into the mouths of the college football committee? Yeah, right. Well, that's just my thoughts. That's my rant. Sorry, guys, if that went a little longer than expected. But, I love you guys. So, I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens in this. Find me on Facebook, Harry James Taylor, or tweet me at SoonerFanIK. Thanks for watching, everybody. And Boomer Sooner, everybody. Take care.